everybody, and welcome to my 2022 craft room tour in my brand new craft room in my new house. I'm really excited to show you this. You guys have been asking for it, and here we are. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Grace, aka Ms. Paperlover. In this room, I do journals mostly. I like junk journaling, creative journaling, scrapbooky journaling. I also love to do art journaling and mixed media, and I do a little bit of card making here and there, just most of the paper related crafts. And then also in this room is where I run my small business from. I have an Etsy shop where I sell journal supplies and handmade stickers and all sorts of things like that. Like, you'll get an idea for what I do as we go around the room. But I suppose I just wanted to express how this is very much a working room. It's not just a playroom. I really do work from this room. And as you can see, I have sort of divided it into two, and I'll talk more about that as I do like the more real-time tour. But yes, it is sort of divided into two, with the shop stuff on the right and the more personal craft stuff on the left, but the two very much overlap and intertwine all of the time, as you can imagine. But as I said, I will talk about it as we go through. I just wanted to start off the video giving you a rough idea of the room as a whole, so you can get your bearings and everything before I start the tour properly. I also have some footage of the process of getting the room together, like when it was completely empty when we first moved in, and just a little bit of progress footage. If you're not interested in that, that's totally fine. If you skip to 5 minutes and 12 seconds, that's when the tour itself properly starts. So as I said, if you're not interested in that, totally cool, skip to 5:12. This room is still very much a work in progress, though. I have some empty spaces here and there, but it's always good to have room to grow. I think it's going to take me a good 6 months to a year to really sort of move into this new room of mine and figure out exactly how I want things, but this is how I have them at the moment. So I'll leave you for a minute to watch the move-in footage, and then I'll be back with you at 5 minutes and 12 seconds.
Okay then, here we go. It feels like ages since I've filmed a craft room tour, so I feel like I've forgotten how, but I thought we would start at my desk because that's how I used to start them before. I'm just going to go back a little bit. Oop. So you can see the whole arrangement. As you can see, I have not emptied my bins for the sake of this tour. I never do. So as you can see, my desk is quite large and deep. It goes all the way back there. I think it's, how deep is it? 4 foot deep, maybe not quite, something like that. It's a partner's desk, solicitor's desk, but I think it's a reproduction. I don't think it's a real antique. I do have 2 layers of sticky black plastic or contact paper on top of it for a nice background, because the colour of the desk itself I'm not a massive fan of. Okay, it looks nice there, but the rest of it not so much. I have my studio lights up here for filming. These are from Amazon, but I won't be able to link them because they don't make these exact ones anymore, but it's really easy to find studio lights. Just type in softbox light, something like that. There's a million options on Amazon. Up the top of my desk, just like before, I have this little unit here, like this little cute house thing. I often get asked where this is from. I don't know. My sister found it on Facebook Marketplace years ago. She used it for an event and had it as like a sweet display and then gave it to me when she was done. But I have seen them pop up on Facebook Marketplace quite a lot, so if you're in the UK at least, you might be able to find them. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, the floorboards in here are super creaky, so you're going to hear that quite a lot. Obviously there's not a whole lot I can do about it. I don't really notice it anymore. Now I've got completely used to it, but now it's an old house, it has little quirks like that, so sorry about the squeaky floorboards, but as I said, nothing I can do. Next to that unit, this is an IKEA, is it Lennart? Just this metal mesh thing. I'll go over what's inside in a second. And I have this little corner unit again from Amazon. It was a pain to build, so I will link it if you're interested, but again, a pain to build. So going over what's actually on the desk, I love little bits and trays to put ephemera and things I'm working with, so I always have a few empty ready to go. That is a sneak peek of something coming soon to my shop. Couple of fountain pens ready to do some journaling with, another little tray with bits and pieces, washi to stick down things, pencil sharpeners, distress tool, date stamp, craft knife, little handy bits like that. These 2 little mini rubbish bins were from the range. I use one actually for rubbish, just because it's handy to have a little one on your desk rather than constantly going to the bigger bin, and then one for liquid adhesives and a tub of gesso that wouldn't fit where my other gesso went. And this pot here is from Wilko a million years ago, has lots of twine in it. There is some space back here, as you can see, that I used to use for things that I didn't need access to all the time. But as I said in my introduction, this is a work in progress. So I will fill spaces as I go and as I feel the need to fill them, if you know what I mean. I'm not just filling them for the sake of filling them at this time. Under here, that's full of hot glue sticks. This is a filming thing. It's basically useful for flat lay filming for like Instagram reels and stuff. It's super heavy. So in this unit here, I have in this drawer all my handy mixed media essentials: clear gesso, gel medium, black gesso, glossy accents, collage medium, more gel medium, modelling paste. Just, yeah, all those really handy things I like to have access to. And now it's not shutting. And these 2 drawers are full of journaling and collage fodder. I used to keep it in a different part of my craft room, and I just would always forget to use it. So I thought if I had it on my desk, I would use it more. So it's basically divided into vintage stuff and like vintage aesthetic stuff. So not necessarily vintage, but it looks vintagey. And then here is the more modern things up here. Quite a lot of Daphne's Diary stuff in here, and just bits and pieces like that. On top are 2 pots full of pens and pencils that I don't use that often, especially that one. It has novelty ones that I can't bear to get rid of, but I never use. Down here at the side, I have this large skull tray, which I use for like sorting larger pieces of ephemera. Like if I've got an ephemera pack and I want to go through it, put it in the large tray. You can hear strange noises, by the way. There are baby starlings nesting just above our heads right now, and bless them, they are very noisy. So yes, if you can hear any movement, that's usually the mama bird landing. And anyway, Moving on. Along here, again, this is a work in progress, figuring out what is the best stuff to have. This is my immediately tan stuff, so figuring out what's best to go here. I have 2 plastic wallets here just full of papers and more things to use in journaling. This has got some things that I want to journal about soon, so more specific things than the general like fodder, as I said, up here, like some cute feathers I found in the garden, this little business thing that I send out with my new orders, things like that, things I want to journal about now. These are all my handy cute little boxes for journaling stickers and little bits and pieces like that. Most of these things are the kind of things that I sell in my journal kits in my Etsy shop. Obviously I keep a few back for myself to use, so I am using my own product. So most of these little things are like that. This one has tiny paper scraps in, so things that you would usually throw away, but I do end up using them, so I just keep little nice bits like that. If it's plain paper, I don't usually keep it, but nice tea-dyed paper or vellum or whatever, I do tend to keep. And this one is super cute, little mini suitcase which was sent to me by someone, and if I can do it one-handed, it has stamps in. This, again, work in progress. Lots of little bits that I've put aside to use. I feel like if I put them anywhere else, I'm going to lose them. So, and then this one just has all my most used adhesives, basically double-sided tape, glue stick, red line tape, things like that. Under here, I have a load of swatches, like that. Oh, all these trays, by the way, these style ones, I got mine from Bunnings, which isn't in the UK anymore, but you can get them from all sorts now. You can get them from The Range, from Home Bargains, from B&M Bargains, just anywhere like that. They're made by Wham. That was an IKEA dupe from Home Bargains, I'm going to say. Most of my storage is either from Home Bargains, B&M Bargains, or The Range. That's pretty much where it comes down to. Up here, I have all of my kind of more mixed media type stamps that I like to use. There's a lot of Kaisercraft ones in here, some Prima stamps, good background stamps, mostly things like handwriting and typeface, and oh, that's just a backing. The storage for these is basically any littler stamps get put in these plastic wallets in their original packaging. And then I also have these plastic wallets, which are like A5 plastic wallets to go in folders, and I take the main packaging away and put the stamps in like that. And if the stamp is slightly too big, then I slit the top of the plastic wallet. So that's how I store my stamps. But yeah, things good for mixed media. All my most used plain inks and a couple of stamping blocks, some stamping cleaner. But I have, you know, mementos, stays on, archival inks in here, and a couple of these metallic ones, which I like to go around the edges of things with. This little section, you can see I've got all those sticker books, all the anthologies and antiquarian type sticker books. And then here's my little skull dude. I like skulls, by the way. You'll see one or two as we go around. This is an A5 display book where I keep all of my rub-ons and transfer stickers like this, because I just love my rub-on stickers. At the top here, this is what I use to film. It's just like a phone grabby thing, because I use my old iPhone to film, because, you know, it's better than an actual camera. Another thing of stamps here. These are more like floral stamps, pretty stamps. Like, I will use them in mixed media, but they're also, some of them are more card making type things. It's more images in this one, whereas that one is more backgrounds. Then this keeps collapsing, but I've just got a handy little pot of hand sanitizer and some tissues and hand cream up there. Then I do need to put some more things up here so it stops falling over, but some larger stickery books or collage books that wouldn't fit there. That's an art journal, is my current junk journal, my onion skin journal, my scrapbooky journal. That's got some handy little notebooks in and some paper clips. So down here, some kitchen roll, paper towel, always handy to have. A water sprayer. Oh, that's empty. I need to put something in that. Down here I have my stencils. So these are all my large stencils. And then I keep the rest of my stencils in these 2 A5 display books. All my florally ones in one, and then everything else in this bigger one here. In this tin are my Archer and Olive acrylograph pens. Then I have stuff for my WeRMemory thermal printer and my HP sprocket, spare papers and stuff for the faux memo. There's a hole punch there, a planner hole punch. In the top here are refills for the sprocket. And in this bottom drawer, nothing at the moment because I just, you know, as I said, not going to fill it for the sake of filling it. Going to see what I need to put in there. I also have a little USB plug-in fan down there for when it gets really, really hot. Then various little pots full of things here. This pot mostly rulers and tools. Then lots of gel pens, various black pens of sorts there. These are all arty pens, like Posca pens and Stabilo all pencils, white gel pens. Again, things handy for more arty things. Stabilo woodies in there, little blending brushes that I use for inks. And then like my handy most used tools, craft knife, favourite scissors, bone folder, pencil, things like that. Again, with the trays full of things because I love them, I have these gorgeous embroidery, scissors, a pin, always handy to have, and the little card you need for the sprocket in there. That's a Ray Dunn tray, I believe. And then all of these large clips for holding open journals while you're using them. Another Ray Dunn tray there. I know it's basic to like Ray Dunn, but I don't care. I like what I like. And another little spare cat tray for when I need it. Then coming and looking in the drawers, this is exactly the same as before. My big drawer of distress oxides. I keep swatches there, though I need to redo this because they keep bringing out new colours and I have to redo it every time. All the blending tools and some spare foamy things. In terms of the blending foams, I have on the bottom of each ink a little stick-on Velcro dot and the matching colour foam and stick it on there. So I don't personally feel the need to have a blending tool for every separate ink. Personally. So I will pick up one tool, take that off, boop, there we go. And then obviously I use the blending brushes for different things. Like it depends what I'm doing as to whether I use the foam or the blending brush. And then there's all the oxides in there. But as you can see, because of all the new colours they keep bringing out, I've run out of room. Like I'm having to go to a second layer. So don't get me wrong, it's a great problem to have, but I do love this drawer, but it's not as neat as it once was. Then the rest of the drawers, except one, all have washi tape. So I'll show you the non-washi tape drawer. This is actually something I really, really need to sort out. It's a mess of a drawer. I have baby wipes for mixed media, some of the WeRMemoryKeepers various boards, like the alphabet punch board, the tag punch board, the 1, 2, 3 punch board. Have my Tim Holtz stamping platforms in there, an old pen box. Again, I need to sort out this drawer. I wanted originally to do with this drawer to have like paper pads in here, but it's just ever so slightly not deep enough. It's really annoying. But looking at the washi, this is my favourite thing to look at when you open the drawer. It's all the washi tape. Ta-da! So top drawer is all the really wide washi tape for the most part, unless like it matches like the William Morris stuff all goes together and stuff like that. So isn't that a beautiful sight? I love it so much. Then more washi. In here, I keep a running total of how many tapes I have. See, I haven't bought any since November. How impressive is that? But that's how many tapes I have at this present time. This has all the Tim Holtz tape sets. I've got some Maggie Home, some of these MT ones, like the blank, not blank, but just plain solid colour ones. I really like these. Grid ones, and then there's some slim ones there that are like slightly vintagey vibe ones. Oh, and some of the fabric ones up the back there. In the next one down, we have mostly florals in there, and then some more specialty ones like Simply Gilded and stuff are in there. Again, I'm using these trays to separate them until it comes to a point where I don't need the trays because there's enough to fill up the whole drawer. So yes, mostly florals in that one, and then this one has black and whites, foiled, and any cat themed ones and any stationery themed ones. And then these are like miscellaneous sort of birthday themes and just random ones I couldn't find another category for. And then we go across to this drawer, which isn't just washi actually. So it has slim washi in these little things. I have my heat tool handy to go. I have some handy other tools like some tweezers, a little hole punch, the leads, charging cables for my sprocket and stuff like that. Some more inks that I use not all the time. Oh, that's facing the wrong way. That's going to annoy me. That's upside down. That's going to annoy me. Anyway, inks that I want to use fairly often, but not often enough to be on the inks on my desk. And lots of clips because they're handy to have. And then I also have scratch paper here for, you know, when you're gluing something intricate, you don't want to get the glue on your desk, things like that. More washi. In this drawer, it kind of goes in from colour theme here. So greens, blues, teals, and then some of the first edition tubes back here and some wide ones. I wasn't sure where else to put them. And then the last drawer of washi is underneath here. So if I'm going to get down onto the floor, move this bin out the way. While I remember though, you will notice the bin situation in this room is a bit all over the place because the recycling system where we've moved to, like we're in a completely different part of the country now, and the recycling system, I swear, you need a degree to understand how they do their recycling here. It's so needlessly complex. If anyone else is in North Lincolnshire, please tell me, please explain it to me, because I don't get it. You have to separate paper and card. They go in two separate things. I can't, it's too much. Anyway, under here, another one of the IKEA Lennart ones, one of these standard plastic drawer storage things, you know, the sort that you can get them pretty much anywhere. But those two drawers are empty. Again, I'm going to fill them as I feel I need to. But this one has last bits of washi, glitter, pinks and yellows that I don't really use that much. And there's also some spare sequins down there, which I've had for a million years and really probably should get rid of. At the side here, I have my paper trimmer, a scoreboard, some cutting mats, Tim Holtz mixed media mats, handy things like that. I keep more scratch paper up here for, you know, just protecting the desk or whatever when doing mixed media. And then most of these drawers have spare things in. It's quite hard to show you because I'm like completely under my desk, but spare glues and tapes and things in there. Spare glue dots and foam tapes in there. All of the double-sided tape spares. I had a Hobbycraft discount code, and the discount code doubled up on another code and then on another code, and long story short, I stocked up on double-sided tape. And then the bottom here, this is like the equivalent of my kitchen drawer, all over the place drawer. I've got a screwdriver, I've got a hammer, I've got an extremely long stapler, I've got tea lights, I've got some USB sticks, and you know, it's my junk drawer. Okay, back up off the floor. Now, I'm having a little sit down. These are two of my carts, craft carts. There are 4 around the room, though one is stationary, as in stationary with an A, it doesn't move. They are not Raskogs, they are all from Hobbycraft. Only ever bought them half price. But in these 2 carts, as you can see, one has 2 pretty much empty shelves or baskets. Again, it's just figuring out what I need to put there. When I say fill up empty space, I don't mean filling it up with new stuff. I mean figuring out what I need to move from elsewhere in the craft room to somewhere where I need it to be handy. You know what I mean? So up the top of this one, this is kind of a mixed media cart. I have a little tubby of VersaMagic dewdrops. These are my nice brushes, so more watercolory brushes. Then like this pot has my more, I don't want to say rubbish brushes, but brushes I don't really care if they get glue on them and I forget about them and they're ruined, you know. FYI, this house is a lot smaller than my previous one, so you're more likely to hear family noises in the background, because before I was right at the top of a very tall house and now I'm on the first floor. And that's it. Anyway, this tub has Distress Oxide sprays, plus a couple of inks I like to use for splatters, like this. This is Diamine, I think. Calligraphy ink and some Winsor & Newton ink. Again, I mostly use them for splatters. Little thing of archival inks in there. Oh, there's my little deck chair. I've been looking for that. I use that to put my phone on my desk. Anyway, for water and various palettes and things to scrape paint on things. There's a couple of canvases down there, as you can see. Oh, I also have this, which I just don't have a use for yet. I used to put papers and stuff in there, but I don't need it right now, but I don't want to throw it away. This other cart is actually being fully used. This top level is like my little Tim Holtz shrine. Everything on this top level is Tim Holtz ideology stuff. Oh, apart from this, which is some onion skin paper. But I have like the little flashcards, various ephemera. That's got mostly Halloween stuff in it. It's this beautiful old Cuban cigar box. Isn't that beautiful? And like the journal cards in an old Ferrero Rocher box. Smaller bits in here. This big storage thing was from Hobbycraft. I'm going to say. And again, this is all ephemera. So like botanical ephemera in there, for example. I'm having a brain fart as to the name, but you know, like the people ephemera, and then like the worn wallpaper, label stickers, all in these little wallets. You'll see a lot of these wallets. They're just A5 wallets from Amazon. So yes, that's my little Tim Shrine. 3 of these hang-on baskets here for things I need access to. That's a tab punch, my stapler, Dymo label maker, corner punch, crocodile, and a, what's that? Oh, that's a one of those hole reinforcer punches. Then down on the second level, this is very much like a journaling or junk journaling cart. I've got this with all sticker flakes inside. They're all categorized into various different things in the sections. Then I've got 3 of these long trays in here. The middle one is all my stickers. So if it's from my shop, if it's my own artwork and things from my shop, it goes in this middle one here. It's my newest collection, actually. I want to keep that on the top to remember to use it. This one is all stickers, well, mostly ones that I have. Sorry, there's an autistic meltdown going on downstairs, so I have to keep pausing because it's quite loud. Anyway, these are stickers that are kind of the ones that go in my journaling kits in my shop, and I've bought some for myself. You know, lots of stickers like that sort of thing. And then this is various ephemeral bits that I want to use in my journal, and then random little sticker packs and sticker flakes. And I have an A5 wallet full of sticker sheets in there. And down at the bottom here, this has got, I haven't really utilized this properly, to be honest, this little tray, but it's got some tabs and stuff in. This is full of anything that can be used as an envelope or a pocket. That's full of tags, more tags in here, and other bits of ephemera, larger bits in here. So again, it's already journaling fodder in here. Now, while I remember, I just want to take you over to my bedroom for a second, because there is sort of like a part of my craft room in my bedroom over here. So some of you who have seen previous tours will remember my beautiful antique roll top desk that is now in my bedroom. I use this for my fountain pen hobby, really. So I have my ink display here of all my fountain pen inks, although I did have to extend the inks into these little compartments here. All fountain pen friendly papers here, and my fountain pen swatches, cat treats of course, more swatches. This Lord of the Rings shelf unit, by the way, I got it on Facebook Marketplace, so I can't link that. Dip pens and things for testing inks. This is just like a display piece, the Chinese calligraphy set my mum bought me years and years ago. I'm not going to show you the big drawers in here because I haven't really sorted them out yet, but what I'm doing here, so as you can see, there's inks there, all of my ink samples in here. These are pen pal letters to reply to. And then in these drawers, I haven't really figured out yet, because part of me wants to keep all of the same type of pen together, like keep all the Lamy Safaris together. Half of them are being cleaned at the moment, which is why they're not in that drawer. Keep all the Kavekos together and things like that. But part of me also wants to have, like, these are pens that have been cleaned but not inked yet. These are pens that need cleaning, you know. I can't decide what to do on that front. And my favourite pens here in this little zip case from Galen Leather, my personal journal here, so I keep that in my bedroom. And then I have this handy as well. I often use these pens for journaling, like more crafty journaling, so this goes in between my craft room and bedroom all the time. But yeah, I just wanted to show you the little fountain pen home here that's in my bedroom. So we will go back to the craft room now. Okay, so at the side here, as soon as you walk in, this is an IKEA, oh my goodness, what's it called? Ivar, I think it's an Ivar cabinet. I'm just going to come in and shut the door. Anyway, yes, IKEA Ivar cabinet. This is one of the new pieces. I haven't really utilised it properly yet, although it is magnetic, so I can put this little whiteboard on it. But inside at the moment, I have my Copic or Copic markers. I have a spare glue gun, all of my arty pencils like polychromos and stuff, and there's like spare gesso, press and seal wrap, kind of arty stuff for the most part, but as you can see, still plenty of room to use, plus the top of it. Then these two drawer units, it's one on top of each other. I got these from Home Bargains a long time ago. Don't know if they still do them. Not all the drawers are being used. I think only one of the bottom drawer has been used, which has some Christmas stuff in it. But this one has all of my, or most of my acrylic paints and like specialty mixed media paints. This one has collage-y bits in, lots of tissue paper, rice paper, stuff like that, Dina Wakley tissue paper, etc. This drawer is always difficult to shut. This drawer has, I've got some napkins in here and some of these very old-fashioned little butterfly pieces. And this top drawer, I think I'm just going to have to put you in it because I'm not tall enough, but this is like my foiling drawer. So I've got gilding flakes in here. And then like hot foil, my little mini iron to do hot foiling. Coming back down again, this is actually a studio thing. If you say one half of the room is a craft room and the other half is a studio for work stuff. But this is for my shop. This is an antique book press for some products that are coming soon to my store. And I also use it to press newly made journals to make sure they're nice and flat. But anyway, I don't know where you can get this from. This was an antique. It was my dad's. It's mine now. Some vintage wallpaper in there for the shop, which is just, I haven't opened yet. It's still wrapped up from moving. Very glamorous. It's a big rubbish bag because, you know, I generate waste and it goes, that's for anything that's non-recyclable. This little section here, this is two IKEA Baggibo shelf units. Probably saying that wrong, but anyway, so that's two of those together. Again, this is kind of like a mixed media-y section. So we have a big basket here. Again, Home Bargains, B&M Bargains, somewhere like that, with a lot of base things in. I've got some canvas things in here, some like mini canvas boards, some big wooden MDF boards, just bases for various art projects, two really big stencils that wouldn't fit with the other stencils, and some little accessories, some tape and blending foam and little pipettes and some empty spray bottles, little tools. Up here we've got gelatos, we've got like glass glitter, microbeads, art stones, all for mixed media again. This, you'll see a lot of things like this. This is like the top of another storage box where I've either lost the bottom bit or it's using it for something else, so I use it as a tray. But these are more mixed media things that didn't need to go on my desk because I don't use them as often. Some more modelling paste, some snowflake paste, crystal pearls. Again, stuff I don't need as much access to. Down here, these are Luminart twinkling watercolours, which I cannot get hold of anymore. They stopped making them. Some other watercolours. These distress stains, which are long out of production now. Some magical shakers from Lindy's. This is one of those trays that come with the Hobbycraft carts, but I'm not really using them on those, but I thought it was handy for here. These boxes have various mixed media bits in, like this has got some little wooden things. Uses bases here. Again, like this is the top of another box where I don't know where the other part is, so I'm just using it as a tray. These are more physical paints, like airy mousse, granite paste. You may notice if you have been around on my channel for a while, I used to have a bajillion of the Nouveau embellishment mousse. I had to throw it all away because it all dried up and I tried to rescue it and nope. So it's all gone apart from the crackle mousse, which hasn't dried up yet, but I'm not a big fan of it. Anyway, this one has got lots of pastes, wax pastes, Prima ones for the most part, some of these Pentart ones. I have this patina special effect paste, which I really like using, so more mixed media bits here. And then all my Dina Wakley acrylic paint in there. And then up the top here, this tray, large one of those ones that I have a zillion of. These are all Nouveau drops. These used to be on my desk, but I wasn't using them enough to warrant them having that important space on my desk, so they live over here now. I still use them, obviously, it's just I don't need to have them on my desk. But instead of having swatch sheets that I will lose, I just did a Nouveau drop on top of every bottle so I can see what it looks like without having to check the swatches. Some more inks that are good for making splatters and stuff here. And then lots and lots of spray inks. This is one of those like condiment shelf things, like it's 3 steps and it extends out. This is from Lakeland. a long time ago, but you can get them from Amazon really, you know, really easily. As you see, I've got Heidi Swap along there. These are becoming a collector's piece now. And then various Distress, Dilutions, Mr. Huey's, again long gone now, Dina Wakley Glass Spray, some Fabrica Decoro, and Lindy's. Coming across to here, some more little Nouveau Drops, little Nouveau Drop extension. And it also has the Dovecraft sort of cheap version of the Nouveau Drops. Quite good, actually. So those have lived there. Cute little cat pen. This cute drawer unit was a gift a long time ago. Has some resin flowers. Oh, a command hook. I've been looking for one of these. That's handy. This one has lots of eyelets from WeRMemoryKeepers, and I have a whole big one of the gold ones. I use the most. More eyelets in there, and then these, I don't know what you call them, like ornate metal corners, putting on journals. And this bottom one has some spare bits in. So some oxide re-inkers, some more art stones, and loads of these little ring things that I bought a long time ago for a project, and I can't even remember why I bought them, but now I have them. This cute little box is actually empty, so that'll have a purpose one day. All my sketching pencils there. These are some vintage fountain pen related things, which I can't bear to throw away. My dad found them, but I don't know what to do with them. But I can't bear to throw them away because they're so gorgeous. Then down here, this is again mixed media things. These little drawer sets, there's 3 of them there. They were from the range. Mostly they have, that's got tea bags in, but that's a mixed media thing. Just lots of bits and pieces for mixed media, basically. Lots of metal embellishments like that. Spare pins, I use those a lot. Again, it's all, lots of these things. Again, mixed media, resin flowers. I can't remember what's in there. It's empty, never mind. In this drawer here, this unit is obviously a 1x2 Kallax style unit, but it's not an IKEA Kallax. I bought it from Bunnings, which, as I said before, isn't in the UK anymore, but stuff like this, easy to find. This box drawer thing here is all spares of things that I use a lot, and I don't really do this so much anymore, but I used to be terrible for buying 2 or 3 of things I really loved. So as I said, I don't really do it anymore, but I still have a zillion spares of all these things. I've even got spares of those sticker books that we all went nuts for a few years ago, and yes, I need to go through this really and figure out why I'm actually getting used. But that's what's in there. So coming across, again, creaky floorboards to this section. Oh, I need to show you this, don't I? Oh my goodness, this video is going to be so long. So as you can see, I have my middle section here that divides the room. This is 2 4x4 Kallax units, 1 2x4, and then a 2x2. It's not a Kallax, it's a bit trade. Same thing, basically, just not as thick on the outside. But yeah, it's a good centerpiece. It makes up the best use of the space. I think I've got so much storage now, and as I said, it really utilizes the space that I have in this gorgeous room. But anyway, on here, that's a little steppy stool, so I can reach up there. So up there at the top, there are some Daphne's Diary magazines and other things to cut up. In these things up here, that has labels in it and whole reinforcer stickers type of things. And these stickers here, one has lots of vinyl stickers and one has stickers that I like go through when I'm sending stuff to pen pals and find little nice bits to send to them. So that's what's in there. This little insert thing, that's an IKEA thing, I can't remember what it's called. I have a storage box with all of my embossing powders and accessories in there. And then this whole sort of area here is sticker land, if you will, the little sticker book there. This is a tub with most of my old planner stickers. I don't really do decorative planning anymore, but a lot of the stickers I think are still useful for a lot of journaling stuff in general. So I still have them all. Up here, you'll see a lot of these kind of containers. They're all kitchen storage things. Like this is supposed to be for tins or cans that you put in your fridge. I will link them if I can find them, or if the links still work, because I have had them for quite a long time. But in this big one, I have all of my alpha thickers, and then this one has smaller letter and number stickers in it. Down here, I have a lot of these little insert things in my Kallax units. These were from Amazon. Again, they're kitchen storage. I will be able to link those because I bought them really recently. I bought them for this room. This one, I need to sort out this area a little bit more. This box has stickers I really didn't know what else to do with, if I'm honest with you. Got some little rainbow moon stickers in this little wallet. And then these stickers are sort of divided into, I've got lots of Mambi stickers here. These are lots of stickers that are kind of all some kind of brand or make of some sort. Same for these ones. And then these are sticker books or sticker packs, at least some of them. So I have Hobbycraft ones in here and some Carpe Diem ones and some Kaisercraft ones in there, but the majority of the sticker books, as you can see, are here. So everything on this side is Mambi, and then everything on this side is the American Crafts sticker books plus one Dilutions one. Then in here, this is probably my most used one. This is all like the little tiny words and phrases, like clipping stickers and things that I use probably more than any other. And then this one also has words and phrases, but slightly bigger ones like that. And then some loose various words and phrase stickers as well. Then for the next part down, another one of these. This has lots of vellum and other scraps in, which are too pretty to throw away. I know I should, but I can't make myself do it. Then scrapbook paper on these two units. That's that shelf set there, if you can see it through the paper. There we go, is a WeRMemoryKeepers one. That is a Display Dynamics, which I tell this story every single time, but I basically mugged an old lady for that. There was a garden centre, it was closing down. Everything was like, you know, everything must go. I saw that from across the room and I raced across the room, fastest I've ever gone in my entire life, and grabbed it and threw it at the lady like, I must buy this! Because you can't get Display Dynamics anymore, at least not in this country. Anyway, this needs to go up. Actually, I like to have this one on display because I was really proud of it. Look, it's pretty. But anyway, in here, I have at the top are all various kind of mixed media brands. We've got AB Studio up here, some 13 Arts. I don't know what that is, but it's stunning. Then this is all Prima Marketing papers. It's really hard to flick through at this angle, actually, but all Prima Marketing there. This is all Kaisercraft and Stamperia. I know people say Stamperia, but to me it sounds like a disease. Anyway, then this is all sorts of American Crafts papers in here, and not just American Crafts but other brands as well, but not really mixed media-y. On this side, if I move that you might be able to see it a bit better. Up the top is all cut aparts, loose cut aparts. Some I have already cut apart. Then this one is plain. So I've got, like, you know, basil marshmallow and some textured cardstock for backgrounds. This is all specialties. So any 12 by 12 vellum, foiled, acetate, anything. Oop, in you go. Like that. And then these are, whoops, all 12 by 12 cardstock sticker sheets from various brands. Coming down another level here, I have mostly papers. I have these baskets that have 6x6 paper pads or A5 paper pads, or even the little 10 by 10 centimeter paper pads. I used to keep them more by brand, but now I'm doing them by what's more used. So these are probably my lesser used 6x6s, plus the 10 by 10 centimeters, some loose ones at the back there, some watercolors there because I didn't know where else to put them. And then these are my more used 6x6s. So a lot of them are branded, but anything that was more of a vintage theme or aesthetic I put there because I'm more likely to use it. Then a lot of those Minte fussy cutting books, which I adore. Some of these die cut books from the works, also adore. Some vellum things, a lot of the various mixed media brands and papers, and Marry Me small art products, which I love and can't get anymore because she doesn't ship to the UK, which is sad, but I understand. And this is more mixed media bits, but more like loose bits or freebies that have come with things. Just, I'll lose them if I don't put them in a wallet. And at the bottom, scraps. Always important to have scraps. And my Kuretake watercolors because I love them. In here are more A5 paper pads, plus these kind of awkward size ones as well. And here are my favourite A4 and 12 by 12 paper pads. There are lots more around the corner, but these are my favourites. Because I've got like the WeRMemoryKeepers typecast, Santoro, a lot of these spooky die cuts with a view paper pads, because I adore them, and like the Once Upon a Time fairy tale stack. As I said, just these ones that are a little bit more special. Okay, so coming around the corner, this is the cart that doesn't move. Its wheels fell off a long time ago, but the wheels came off, so now it's just a shelf unit. At the top, anything stamping, really, that's not on my desk, if it's stamping related, it's on here. These are a lot of sentiment stamps, letter stamps, and wooden stamps. Lots of, you know, magazine freebies. There, some rubber stamps and wood mounted stamps in here. Second layer, not full, as you can see. Lots of roller stamps, which I really do not use that often. And all the other inks that I don't use that much, but I like to have them. And at the bottom, paper punches. To explain this situation here, these things here are all designed to go on the Hobbycraft cart, but I don't really want them on there. The way that I have the carts at the moment, if I had them on the carts, I'd be constantly bumping into them and knocking them over and stuff, so I used command hooks to put them up here, and I think they look cute, if I do say so myself. So on the top one, which has the hooks, I have phrase stickers, or the big ones like this. They're hanging on those little rings like that. On this next one down, which I think is designed for ribbons, I have all my ideology collage papers because I love them, and also the quote chips at either end. And this one, as you can see, is empty. I don't know what I'm going to put on there yet. I'll figure it out as I go. So this is one side of the big Kallax divider. That unit up there is a IKEA Bagabo TV stand. I bought 5 of these, which are dotted around the craft room. They're only like £10 or £15 each. I now know how to make one off by heart without using the guide, and yeah, there we go. So there's a lot of those, you'll see those. These are some IKEA shelves that I bought when I placed my big IKEA orders, because I placed it long before we moved, and I thought I would need them, and I don't, but I'm going to keep them just in case for now. That's another project that I want to display somewhere. That's a plant that I have to prevent my cat from eating, so it's all the way up there. Up in this unit, this is another area that needs a little bit of work, but I've got bits and scraps, like my light board, laminator, some little bits and pieces. Those are my filled journals at the moment. There they are. I will probably extend them to the top shelf as well, because there's a scrapbook up there. You'll see the Kiki K product section in a minute, but this is like an extension of that where I've run out of room. But coming down into what's in here, I don't know whether, like, should I go top to bottom, bottom to top? I just don't know. Let's go top to bottom. These are Project Life albums that they're not used at the moment. I've got them ready to go. Some flowers that I will often use for photo props. These are the 2 Kiki K cubes, because I used to be obsessed with that brand. I would still buy from it if they ship to the UK now, but they only ship to Australia, New Zealand and Singapore now, so I can't buy any of it. And just in case anyone is wondering, because I get this question every craft room tour, my username is nothing to do with the Paper Lovers book. I was Ms. Paper Lover long before I started buying these, so just gonna answer that question before it's asked. But you have the pretty notepads, Paper Lovers books, the sticker books, the Kiki K pens, and various accessories. Just who doesn't love gorgeous stationery? Along to here, another one of those dividers. These are so perfect, by the way. They fit the Kallax exactly. I was so chuffed with those. So again, I will link them. This has all my Project Life cards. At least I think it does, because I think some might have been lost in the move. And by Project Life, I don't necessarily mean the brand, just any sort of journaling card. So, you know, there's some Prima down here. That's from Poundland, that thing, I think. It's got all the larger 4x6 cards. And then these 2 acrylic ones have got the smaller 3x4 ones and even some little 2x2 ones. The reason I think some are missing is because this used to be full, and it's clearly not anymore, so I don't know what's happened that I do not understand. Next to that is my little ephemera station. So this is lots of loose ephemera. I really just need to try and remember to use it, to be honest. One of these IKEA dupe storage boxes. I can tell this used to be on my desk because it's got like paint splatter on it, but various ephemera packs. Some in these little zipper bags, which you can see are from Wilko, and some still in their original packaging. Then other ephemera. This is another one of those can things for fridges. And then these little things, these little boxes are from the range. There's more ephemera sets in all these little boxes. Next one down, this is an underutilized section, but again, it'll fill as the time goes. These little corner things I've used here for storage, they again are kitchen storage. I think they're like for pans or plates or something. They are a little wonky, I will say, but they do fit, so that's something. Got more ephemera. Any sort of long ephemera goes in these. Again, those were from the range. I've got some doilies in here. This little thing is all of my doilies. Obviously it's a letter rack. Has the majority of my doilies, from big ones at the back to little ones at the front, but this one has all the ones that didn't quite match any other category, all these patterned ones. Across from there is tags. Really, that's all that's in here is tags. Again, underutilized, but we'll get around to it eventually. So lots of loose tags in here. I just love a tag. And then a lot of these little tag sets and tag books. And we have, these are all my floral embellishments, and I think I have ribbons here too. So any ribbon based embellishments, little bows and stuff. And then flowers. More flowers. These are all the loose ones. And then lots of flowers there. I just keep them in their original packaging. I think it's just, you know, it's fine, it works. Then this is pretty much empty actually. Look, spare storage boxes and shelves. How exciting is that? But there is some buttons in there. So these are all spare storage, which makes me, you know, super happy. Down here we have wooden embellishments and then various other embellishments in here. A lot of them are off-brand ones, a lot of Poundland type purchases, but they're all really lovely and very much usable. And lots of little embellishments in this thing here. Lots of like mini metal embellishments that would get lost where I have the other ones stored. Then we come to paper pad land. I should probably say, if you are new to my channel, I used to be on a few design teams. The biggest one being the Trimcraft design team, who are now known as Craft Label. I was on that team for a couple of years, and I have a lot of stash from being on that. So yeah, just keep that in mind. A lot of this sort of stash has come from design teams. But let's have a look. So this entire section is first edition paper pads, because who doesn't love a good first edition paper pad? So obviously, as you can see, 6x6, 8x8, 12x12. I did have them in like order of when they were released, but they got mixed up in the move and I'm too lazy to put them back into that order. Then next one along, we have these 6x12 paper pads, which I really like. Some Dovecraft ones, like loose 6x6 and 8x8s. Then various brands, Simply Creative, Paper Addicts, some of the sort of the make and create ones, things you get like from the range, Craft Sensations, things like that. I always store them on their sides like this because it means I don't have to pull out each paper pad. I can just sort of flick through them like this. And then there's some paper packs in plastic wallets there at the back. Down here I have all the plain paper packs. So, you know, just basic colours and things. Also the same for A4. That's an arc punch, which I don't have a use for at the moment, but I feel like I can't throw it away because it will be useful one day. These are all like the Dovecraft Premium paper pads. Again, these are all from design team days. Along here, you can see this got very much broken in the move, but I don't actually remember where that's from. Anyway, oh well. Specialty kind of A4 papers here. I've got foiled, glittered, some acetate, anything of that kind of thing. In there is all the loose glitter and acetate and some felt and things. And then these wallets have, do you remember the Paper Mania Ultimate Die Cut and paper sets, which again, Paper Mania are gone now, sad face, but I still have these sets, which I love. Then in here, again, underutilized, but we'll get around to it eventually. These are all wooden frames and little mini envelopes and little embellishments like that. Again, this is all from Dovecraft and Trimcraft design team days. These big pack of felt. That's not felt, that's foam. And then in here, more storage boxes available to use. I don't know why that brings me so much joy to have empty storage boxes, but it does. Maybe it's because I now live in quite a rural place and it's no longer 5 minutes to go to Home Bargains to get restocks of boxes. Right, let's turn around and look over here. This video is going to be so long. I'm so sorry, but oh well. Another one of those baggy bow units down there. In here we have that little drawer unit, just has handy little bits and pieces like screws and wrenches and all the Allen keys that come with IKEA furniture. They did prove to be useful. To have those spare bits have proved to be useful in the move, so there we go, my hoarding is justified. Ribbons and embroidery silk in there. These two are full of paper clips. This one has like novelty paper clips and little charms and stuff, and that has general paper clips in that. This is a plant pot, has envelopes. This is all card blanks in there. And then this has like specialty scraps, fabric, paper. Oh, someone's about to come in my room. The thing about the creaky floorboards is you cannot sneak up on anyone in this house, but I did use the opportunity to get a refreshment. Anyway, where was I? I think I was just saying in those boxes there is like nice scraps of like handmade paper and stuff, and then some vintage fabric scraps in there, lace and stuff. Up here, this little carousel. This is another Paper Mania thing, which you won't be able to get anymore. I have, doesn't turn as well as it used to. Gel pens, glittery pens, glitter markers, all sorts of stuff in there. Fountain pen cartridges and pins for a notice board, which isn't up yet. I'll show you over there. Is a notice board. I did want it here on that wall, but it's too wide and I don't want to put it portrait style because I just don't like the look of it. So I'm gonna have to just change a plan there, sort something else out. Just some scissors, handy pot there. This unit here is a shoe rack from Argos. Daisy of My Green Cow started this trend so long ago of using this as a desktop storage. You can see I've had mine so long that the top has actually warped and bent, but I still have it. It's still useful. I have all of the enamel dots and adhesive pearls and gems in this. This is one of those IKEA storage things, can't remember the name of it. More embellishments in this little basket. The basket was from the range. Mostly sentiments in here. Along here, another one of those little tray things I mentioned. It has some sequins. I've got glitter. This has all sequins that are mostly like branded, like Spiegelmum scraps. Acrylic drawer unit has little things, lots of micro beads in there, mica powders and more glitter. There was a spillage during the move, which I have not got around to cleaning up yet. This tray, it's just got some random bits in it because I didn't know what else to do with it. These are all funky edge scissors, like to get a scalloped edge or, you know, zigzag edge. Again, underutilized, still figuring things out. More sequins. I need to sort out the sequin stuff because I really don't use them that often. This is my die cutting area, big shopped. Here I've got lots of embossing folders in here, and then most of my dies are in this Paper Mania die storage unit, and then some of them in this display book as well, plus things like shims and spare cutting boards and stuff. Some more push pins for this notice board that I'm not yet using. This is more ephemera. I really need to go through this because I've had this for so long and I forget to use the things, and I'm thinking about doing a series of videos where I sort of shop my stash, pick out some random things, and then create something based on what I've picked out. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. Need a sip of tea. Ah, that's good tea. Right, sewing machine here. Now the sewing machine is mostly used for shop stuff, but this was the best place to put it. Have a chair for it here with this blanket that my grandma crocheted for me, bless her heart, because my previous studio was so cold. In wintertime, it was freezing in there, as in you could see your breath freezing. So she knitted that for me to keep, or crocheted that for me to keep warm. And I don't need it anymore, but I have to have it because bless her. But yes, sewing machine accessories there, and I usually think like something I'm currently working on goes in there. Going underneath for a second, this cube unit was from the range. It's much smaller than a Kallax unit. You can kind of see the size difference between the cubes, so not interchangeable at all. And here I have is a load of pre-made cards just ready to go. If I need a card for somebody, I can go in here and find one. This is more journal fodder and junk journal fodder, so stuff that's in here will eventually end up on my desk. At least that's the plan. This one has a box in it which has my address on it, so I probably shouldn't pull that out, but it's a box full of family photos I need to sort out. And look, empty. So exciting. This little cart, this is from Hobbycraft. Again, it's pretty much empty apart from one little folder of Easter themed stuff, which I almost never use. I'm not really an Easter crafter. And then lots of photos to journal and scrapbook. I put them in little envelopes and then say what they are on the envelope. There we go. Again, more space to grow, always good to have. Oh, and up here, that has all my Halloween stuff in. That's like an ongoing project in there. Same for that box that's up there. Another one of those plastic drawer units. This is pretty much like a spares thing, so you know, I've got a lot more display books, more plastic wallets. There's some laminating sheets in there, lots of spare pens and pencil cases, and this is all planner stuff for the most part. And that box right there I have not unpacked yet, as you can tell. It could be where the missing Project Life cards are actually, but that's got Christmas stuff in it. And it got to the point where I was like, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to do it. I will unpack Christmas when Christmas is relevant. So that'll happen later. A lot of it will go in those bottom drawers over there that were empty. Okay, standing up, another sip of tea. So up here, yes, I am sitting down on the chair, is my notebook collection. I do have a problem when it comes to buying notebooks. I love them. They are sort of categorized at the top. Those two piles there are very fountain pen friendly notebooks, so Tomoe River and Rhodia and Clairefontaine. All of that pile, and that pile are Kiki K. Those are a lot of exercise type books, you know, like the slim ones like this, very good for travelers notebooks. Some A6 ones there. These are all themed, so you know, Handmaid's Tale, Star Wars, Star Trek, Buffy, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. These are my particularly pretty notebooks. They're also quite good for photo props as well, or they're ones that have gorgeous pages inside. As an example, like this one has beautiful paper inside. And then more notebooks, some larger ones like B5 size, and then these are more ones that will end up being art journals because of the type of paper they are. And then this is all campus refill pads. It's the Oxford Optic paper. Again, really fountain pen friendly and really budget friendly. Some pots I used to keep pens in but don't need them right now. This light is helpful for if I'm sewing and need extra light, more than like the sewing machine itself provides. 12 by 12 wallets for scrapbooks, which I don't really do a whole lot of scrapbooking anymore, but you never know, I might do it again one day. 12 by 12 that is. Some vintage and retro wallpaper for my shop. Now we get to the part where we kind of start overlapping between personal and shop. This unit here is not a Kallax. I don't know what it is. It was third hand to me, so I have no idea where it comes from. But fun story about this. So because this house is two old cottages knocked together, the stairs are difficult to get things up, and the movers said they could not get this up the stairs. They were like, nope, it's not going up. Well, guess what? I got it up the stairs, so I win. One of my proudest moments, that. Anyway, so filled up scrapbooks up the top, then all my planners or empty planners or previously used planners and travelers notebooks here. This is a lot of stationery type stuff, so I have sticky notes and stuff for my planners. A lot of my planning stuff happens in the desk I showed you in my bedroom, so I just have spares here. Sticky notes in there, and then all of this, apart from that, is a tripod for filming, but all of this is papers or paper collections. So all of this here are paper collections that I've got in these 12 by 12 if I can get hold of one, plastic wallets. Most of it is AB Studio or Minte papers, just my favourite papers for mixed media, but towards the back are also some like American crafts collections. And then all of these boxes, these are the 12 by 12 art boxes. These are from Hobbycraft. Don't get them from Amazon, they're so much more expensive on Amazon. They have scrapbook collections in, so where there's lots of embellishments or washi tapes or whatever that go with them, they go in here. So they are kind of categorized, like all down there is Simple Stories, all down there is Pink Paisley, and then there's a mix up here. And now we move into Shop World, and I can't believe this is only halfway through, but I think it will be quicker this side, she said, not fully believing it. These are all book covers, like empty book covers that I will use to make journals. I usually save them for custom journals, but you know, I sometimes make a few to go in the shop without a custom order. So those are all covers. These are all vintage and retro maps, many of them. I keep this as chipboard here. If I'm making a journal that I don't have, like they don't want an old book cover, then I'll make a handmade cover with that. And then all of this are vintage and quite a lot of antique books that are used for making journals and my junk journal kits. And so this is where I get all the beautiful papers and stuff from, and as you can see there's more there. Up the top, those are antique folio pages. If you buy a bumper junk journal kit, you get one of those. Those are super old. They are from 1793 or 95, so those are old. There is a sort of category system to these books, but I won't go over it because it's not that interesting. Like, for example, those are all foreign language ones, for example. So, coming around the corner with my tea, we get into shop and studio land. So it gets a bit dark in that little passageway there. These shelves are Amazon, I think. You may also notice a lot of the furniture and stuff has little wedges of cardboard underneath, because being an old wonky house, a lot of the furniture was not level. So I had to use little scraps of cardboard and stuff to keep things from falling over. So all up there is vintage fabric. That is full of vintage napkins and beautiful little embroidered things. Some old upholstery, ribbony stuff there. That's full of ribbons. More vintage fabric. These are the more scrappy bits in here. That has stuff for a product coming soon, which I'm not going to show you yet. And then more vintage and antique books and stuff. Lots of pamphlets and like ladybird books up here. That's all music paper. Then all of the lovely like floral botanical ones, and then these are the ones that are in the process of being ripped apart for their various uses. On this side we have, this is all like handmade and mulberry paper, mostly for kits, and then little smaller pieces like the A5 and smaller pieces for the smaller kits. This little insert thing I keep here. Those shouldn't be there, just ignore those, but these are oven trays to do tea dyeing paper. And one last piece of tea dye paper, I really must do some more paper and little trays, again probably Amazon. I don't know what those are doing there. These are like really special papers, some embroidered things. I've got some old, really old typewriter onion skin style paper, doilies, canvas paper, scented paper even. This is some pattern paper and envelopes. These are old letter sets that I don't use personally anymore, but they're great for journals. They're more little cards and notelets in that little box. Again, more paper down here. Just really nice patterned, beautiful paper that just looks lovely in journals. That one is all the particularly old stuff. So there's like vintage ledger and vintage graph paper and stuff in there. Underneath is just a spare storage for excess sticker paper and cardstock for the shop. Here is my ridiculous collection of tote bags. If don't ever buy me a tote bag because I have more than I could ever use. A lot of these have come from events. Down here are packing boxes, and then also some really gorgeous vintage large paper. Look at the edges on that. Oh, it's gorgeous. Then more packing paper and some card, large A2 card. Little calendar there. Oh my goodness, it's May now. I need to change that. See, I'm the most organised person ever. Little printer station here, printer down there. Another little paper insert here where I keep like the 100 GSM I use for most things. Then I have photo paper, 70 GSM, scratched, like not very good sticker paper. Like I wouldn't use these for the stickers I sell, but I can use them for address labels and things. 120 GSM paper for printing nice things on. Then sticker paper ready to go for the shop. White cardstock, black cardstock, crafts cardstock. And then my big paper trimmer and cuttings at the side. You'll probably notice I have these little things taped to the wall to remind me of certain things. So paper sizes, most of them I can generally remember, but sometimes your brain just, the information falls out of it. So that's helpful to have next to the cutter. And things like what the kits contain. So when I'm packing them, I remember for the most part, but then sometimes I just double check on what goes in different kinds of journals and what goes in the kits, and just really handy to have while I sit here and pack. You may notice there are 2 chairs here, one for that desk, one for this desk. I don't need to, because obviously I could just wheel up and down, but my cat likes to sleep in this chair or that chair, so that's why I have 2. So if he's in the room, he can sleep in one and I can sit in the other. Along here, I love this little station here. These are, I don't know how you say it, Verriera shelves from IKEA. The ones you can kind of build them up on each other. I have loads of little trays from all sorts of places. Poundland, The Range, Home Bargains, all that sort of place. This is one of those IKEA stationery things. I have helpful big things. Pinking shears, such things in there. These pens I use for personalising orders. Helpful pens, clips, twine. That's just like our little bits and bobs tray, coaster for mugs. And yeah, this is my workstation for creating and packing orders. Sophie, if you're watching, this is your custom journal before it's been all put together. The inside is still drying. So I think I should go fairly briefly along here. But so in here, tags, these are all packing relating things, little stickers, the thank you stickers I use on my orders, stuff for wax sealing, envelopes and things, and then all little bits and bobs that go in kits, and they're all sort of separated. So when I'm packing kits, for example, if I'm packing a large junk journal kit, I know it's going to have like X amount of this kind of sticker, X amount of this kind of sticker, X amount of these pieces, stuff like that. So they are categorized, but it would take too long to explain all the categories. Lots of little envelopes in here for packing the kits, vintage playing cards, really large stickers. I love these. These are little stamps I use for extra little packaging, labels, scraps for doing collage on packaging, washi tape for packaging. These are sticker flakes from my shop. I always have a load spare because everyone in every order, at least if you order stickers, gets a free sticker flake. So I always have a bunch of these spare to go. Yeah, little vintage, tiny vintage books, lots of tabs. And then in here, this is where, when I'm making sticker sheets, this is where they go. So it's basically, see, this one is empty. This one and this one are stickers that have been made for orders, or ephemera or sticker flakes or anything like that. If they're made for orders, they go in there. And then if they're spare, they go in these other drawers. Like, I don't need them. Often I have to cut 2 of the same type at one time. So that's why there'll often be spares. Spare of my journal cards in here because they come free with journals as well as being a thing you can buy. And then my little sampler, freebies, little baggies for ephemera. Down here is the backing for the ephemera, and then these are the oops sheets. So any sticker sheet that's gone wrong, if I haven't been happy with the cut, then you can buy an oops grab bag. Right, I'll show you what's on underneath the desks, and then we'll look at the other side where there's still a Kallax, which I genuinely nearly forgot about because I was like, oh, we're at my Mac, we're nearly done. No, there's still a whole Kallax behind me. But under here is a lot of packaging type stuff. 2 more of those Bagabo TV units. I'm really chuffed with these. I'm not going to lie to you. I am really chuffed. So, boxes, packaging, envelopes, spare packaging, spare tabs. Any pre-made slim journals go there. Those are the gift bags I use for the large journals. Boxes, packaging such as bubble wrap and things, you know, to make things secure. all envelopes, a little handy bin under there, more little baggies and things. Those are ongoing projects that like I want to make something for the shop with them, but haven't got around to it yet. That box there is a gift box, sort of. It's anything I want to put aside for gifts for crafty friends or giveaways is in there, and there is some very lovely stuff in there because hopefully eventually I will get to 10k and I will have a big giveaway then, and the stuff, it is in there. Don't believe there's anything in that box at this current time, but I thought it would be helpful to hang on to it, so it's there. Underneath is not a whole lot of anything useful, just the little bits you need to keep, like the bags, the storage for my studio lights and stuff, that's all in there. Anyway, let's turn around and look at the other side, staying on the floor so I don't have to keep getting up and down. This is my little packing cart. So at the top here I have hardback envelopes, all the little baggies I use for packing, these little cards that go out with every order and I personalise it with the customer's name in that section, little Royal Mail size guide thing and adhesive, so parcel tape, little rose petals that I use as confetti in certain orders. Underneath I have these large gusset envelopes for journal kits, and these are the labels for the journal kits as well. That is for when if I'm piercing something, like making holes for signatures and I can't use the bookbinding cradle, I will use that so I don't, you know, stab on my table. And then this is a lot of bookbinding stuff, so I have my bookbinding cradle, and then in here it's a bit dark, but bookbinding thread and there's clips in there and all the bits I need for that. And underneath is mostly spares, really, spare packaging tape, spare twine, which is in a bit of a tangle, but it's really useful to be able to pull it next to me when I'm packaging orders and be able to pull them things out and then put it out of my way when I don't need it. So here is the other side of that Kallax unit. A lot of it is spare, especially these areas here. In these boxes we've got these are all vintage magazines and comics, lots of fabric in here. These are a lot of, like, I call them special scraps, so anything that I can't really cut up and is one really nice thing. Most kits get one at least, just, you know, anything that's I think is a particularly nice singular page, if that makes sense. Scraps for doing collage in there, and it's also handy for making pockets and journals. Then these are all the cut out of book pages. So I'll sit down and have a session of removing signatures from old books, and then I categorize them in here. So then when I'm packing a kit, I don't have to do it book by book. I can pull one out of there, two out of there, etc. So all magazine files, as you can see, mostly IKEA ones, though some from other places like The Range or whatever. So I've got book covers, map pages, foreign language, really special old stuff here, single pages, these gorgeous pictures here, comics and magazines, old sewing patterns. Yeah, and I'm standing up. Some more map pages, I don't know why those are there. Vintage ledger, need to do some more of those. These are really pretty ones, you know, things with images and recipes. This is anything like anatomy, for example, or there's some calendar pages. The categories make sense in my head, at least. These are old, like, train tables and tables, engineering things. Then this is anything that's just basic English language book pages, basically. Florals in here, anything floral, botanical goes in there. And then this is anything floral, botanical that's particularly large, because I'll often use them to cover other pages. Music paper in there, music cover pages in there. Coming up the top while I'm standing up, this little paper storage thing was again from Amazon. It was in a right state and I had to washi tape it together. This has more papers that I use for kits and stuff. I've got some glassine or vintage glassine up there, parchment paper, 2 loads of Conqueror paper, craft paper, 62 GSM vellum, 110 GSM vellum, pattern vellum, and then pretty printed pages. These boxes, you can see that's full of material, just spare material. That's full of tissue paper, which I really need to go through and sort out because it's a state. And that box up there is for a project coming soon. This cute little mini filing cabinet, I don't know where it's from. I always get asked. I think my dad gave it to me, but it was given to him as well. It has some cute little vintage pieces in it. Up here I have all the napkins that I put in kits, a mix of vintage and like modern. Back there is like some bags and pencil cases, so if I ever want to be crafting on the go, if I want to go outside and do something, I can pack the stuff in that little baggie. So more shop stuff here. This has, I actually have a bit of trouble getting this out with one hand. There's not many at the moment, but any pre-made envelopes, so the little stitched envelopes I make out of book pages and out of vellum, they're all pre-made there. And behind there is a whole load more vintage playing cards. In here we have postcards, lots of vintage postcards and also vintage birthday cards. Then stamps, which are divided into pretty ones, like large ones is pretty much what I'm saying there. Really vintagey ones, most of them are international stamps, and then some much older British ones, and then general British Queen's Head stamps. Again, all these little storage containers, the range, Home Bargains, B&M Bargains, Wilko, anywhere like that, they're just from all over the place. These are vintage matchbook covers. They are just gorgeous. They are very, very delicate. These go in the vintage ephemera kits. Then these are all tea cards and cigarette cards. As you can see, they are categorized like this. In here, washi tape for kits. There's 2 layers there. These are oh, you might notice these Kallax units have dividers in. Those are the official IKEA Kallax dividers. In here, this is any pre-made journal kits I might have made, because I never make one at a time. Like, even if I've just got an order for one, I'll make 3 at a time, so it's just easier that way. Down here, more pretty things that go in kits. Little bookmarks and little mini postcards and these gorgeous little vellum printed things, which I am obsessed with. More of that sort of thing here. These are all pressed flowers in these tubs. More vellumy things. Down here, I'm going to pull this out. This has some vintage envelopes and papers and some old like invoice things which are cute to put in kits. And back there is all stock of like all the stickers and everything in those little pots I showed you. They're all back there. These 2 are full of spares. So all the spare tea cards and stamps and everything like that are all here. So for example, if I open one of these, you'll see full of stamps, and this one full of stamps. So I have a few to keep me going. It goes all the way back there. That's full of tea cards. These are smaller pieces of vintage ephemera. In here, that has vintage photos in it. That is where all of the Matchbox covers come from. I haven't pulled them all out of that album yet. As you can see, I bought it in an auction. And down here are all of the paper pads. Some are repeats of what's on the other side, but these are the ones I use for the shop for like journal covers and things, just because for the most part, for keeping records and stuff, it's good to keep them separate. I don't always keep them separate. Very often I'll be making a custom journal and think, I've got the perfect paper for this. It's in my personal stash, but I don't care. It's perfect for it. So, you know, there is crossover, but I do try to keep something separate. Okay, we are nearly finished. I think we finished with pretty much the most boring part, to be honest. Under here, another one of those, a Baggibo TV stand. This is all admin stuff here. I do want to get something better here, like some shelves or something to put those files on, but for now it'll do. That box has office stationery in, but as I said, this is all admin stuff because I also sit here and do work on other job stuff, so not shop related things. So I need all this stuff available. And up here you can see I have my Mac, my silhouette portrait, which I have on another one of those stands that's in the Kallax unit, so it's really handy, so I can just pull it out to cut stickers, and there's still space underneath, so I will use this to go through any sticker flakes or ephemera I've cut. I keep my cutting mats there. There's a sneak peek of some stickers coming soon. That's the test page. Again, it's all not very interesting. Notebooks I use for work things. A little rack, an old magazine rack I think it is, I use for documents and letters that I need to keep hold of. As you can see, even personal stuff comes as an NHS letter there. Some more pen pots, Pigma Microns, mild liners, my current planners in use are there, as well as this is like my everyday planner which stays on my desk, and this has all my addresses and contacts in, which I was using last night, so that's there. That little thing, that little drawer thing has some like cables and things like that in. Lots of Apple related things there. Oh, it keeps going out of focus. Yeah, Apple boxes, wax melt burner. That's just an ornamental box. I think it's cute. Some wires and cables, and all my external hard drives are up there. And just to show you my working area, my glasses, little calendar. This is spray stick-on stuff to help keep my silhouette mats sticky. Post-it note dispenser, spare blades for the silhouette. Underneath this little stand for my Mac, I have loads of notepads and memo pads. I'm constantly making notes to myself, so there's so many under there. Little fan for when it gets hot. This adorable typewriter pen pot. Isn't that sweet? There's a traveller's notebook there with some notebooks with handy things that I need for work related things. This little skull tray, I've got quite a few of those, have you seen? This is when if sticker flakes or ephemera bits get miscut, they go in here. And I go through to make the little packs of miscut ephemera pieces. I always have a note of my current cut settings on my silhouette, because silhouettes tend to change, and I have a little plastic tiara if sometimes I need to feel like a queen. Oh, one last thing I forgot to say, all the work surfaces apart from my main desk are IKEA Adils Linmon tables. You probably recognize them. I think I have 4 in total of the 100cm ones, and then 2 is it 120 or 150? Oh, I'm not sure. 4 of the shorter ones, 2 of the longer ones, and as you can see around here, one of them is a different colour, but it was secondhand, and I don't care that much about it all being matchy-matchy. So yes, that's what my work surfaces are, those tables, because they're just so super cheap and handy. So yes, and my chairs, that was secondhand. I don't know where it's from. I have that backrest though, which I could not do without, which I'll link if you are interested. And then that chair, I got it from eBay, really, really cheap, but I won't be able to link it because I got it a long time ago. And the cushion is from IKEA. And then that, my lovelies, is it. I think we are finished. So I know this was a very, very long video. I'm so sorry, but it's hard to show you everything without completely rushing through at 1,000,000 miles per hour. But I hope you enjoyed seeing my brand new craft room. As I said, it will change over time. I still have all these little spaces to fill up and figure out where I want everything to be, but for now this is how it is and how it's been working for me. So there we go. As I said, thank you so very much for watching. I will link as many things as I possibly can, but as some things I've had for a while I might not be able to link, but anything I can link, I will. If I've missed something, please ask. If there's any questions you have in general, please let me know. Oh, here are the windows, in case you were wondering where the light comes from. That one opens, that one doesn't. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, especially if you've made it all the way through. Let me know if you have any questions. Please remember to give me a thumbs up, because it really helps out my little channel. And yeah, chat to me in the comments. And I'm going to go. Thank you again.